Hey everyone, just want to do a quick video, doing this live, so if any of you guys want to chime in, have any questions or suggestions, tune on in and let us know as well. I'll post this on YouTube as well just so other people can see. But I was talking to someone the other day and they were talking about different experiences that you have when you're out in the woods. Deer season is coming up here tomorrow, and so a lot of people are going to be going out in the woods, and for the most part they're going to bring a gun, they're going to bring a knife, and they're going to bring some warm clothes they're in, and then snacks. You know, those main four things are really what they're going to bring. That's not going to last you through the night very well. If you were in a situation where you fall out of your deer stand, you get hurt, you break a leg, you get lost, whatever it may be, you may not have communication, you may not be able to get back, and it's really important to have a few things. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room. I know you're going to be hiking through the woods and you're not going to want to carry a lot of stuff, but it doesn't really take a whole lot for you to carry a few things that will really help you a lot in survival if you have to spend the night out there. Some of the first things, you're going to need some source of fire. And no matter how good you are at a bow drill or using a ferro rod or anything, nothing beats a Bic lighter, okay? Unless you get down to 40 below or something like that where those don't start to work. I also bring a ferro rod. I like bringing one of these. They work really slick. They make, sparks that are around 5,000 degrees. And so you can get an endless supply of fire out of this, whereas this may crack or leak or break. And, what do they say? One is none and two is one. That's kind of the idea. Bring two. Fire is very, very important. Space blanket. These are small, they're light, they don't take up much room. And understand, space blanket is a misnomer. They should call this space shield or whatever they want to call it. But in a survival situation, don't cover yourself with this. If you're in the snow or the cold ground, put it underneath you. Maybe wrap it around a little bit, but this doesn't breathe. So you're going to start sweating, and you got maybe 20 minutes or half an hour where you'll be warm, but then you're going to start to sweat, and now that's going to cool you off, and really this is worthless now. So this is something that would go on the back side of your shelter or underneath you. So space blanket, very, very important, and this stuff doesn't take up a whole lot of room. Next, you really got to have a light. Now you're going to be going out early in the morning, you may leave late at night. A light, this is just a cheap LED, not very expensive, but they're bright, and I just keep that in there, and I just keep that in there year round. With the LED bulbs and with lithium batteries, they really last a long time. Next thing is that you need some sort of navigation. Now this is a slick little whistle. You can buy these anywhere, they're really cheap, and of course it has the compass on one side. So you got the compass. This one actually has a thermometer on the other side too, which is kind of cool. But you have your navigation and notification with this as well. So if you are lost and you're able to hear people off in the distance, this is something that's going to be a lot louder than you just yelling. Some of the other things that I like to bring. Now these are kind of add-ons. You got to have a good knife. This is not the knife I bring out there. I have a different hunting knife. But the purpose for this, I wanted to show, if you are going to bring a ferro rod out there, you need to have a knife that has a very sharp spine on the back side. If it has a sharp spine on the back side, then you're able to strike with a ferro rod like this instead of using the sharp edge of your blade, which can dull it and can be rough. So get a good knife. If your hunting knife does not have a sharp edge on the back side, get a striker or something else that would go on here. Let's see what else we got. I like bringing some of this stuff. This is magnesium. It's just little shavings of magnesium you can see in there, and this works really good for a fire starter. If you have wet material or something like this, it's going to burn for a long time and super, super hot. So you get this stuff ignited with a ferro rod or a match. This works really good. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room at all. Next, I always like to bring some paracord. It's handy for throwing together a shelter. If I have room, I'll also throw in zip ties. I like these zip ties. They're nice long. These are about 10-inch zip ties. Throw a bunch of these in there and, something really quick, easy to do, gross motor skills, doesn't require fine dexterity in your fingers. And then also, I really like to throw a tourniquet in there. This is really just the first line of defense if you are dealing with a situation where somebody gets shot in an appendage or an arm or something like that. It used to be that they would worry about tourniquets and losing limbs and stuff. But EMS that I've talked to recently, they said throw a tourniquet on there. We don't care about anything else. Get that tourniquet on there as soon as you possibly can and save someone's life. Now, tinder is another thing that you can bring with you. I know some people bring stuff like jute twine. You can throw some of this in there. But I know you guys what you were doing the night before you went out there, and I can imagine that you're going to need some of this. So out in the woods, toilet paper works great. Throw it in a bag and throw it in there. All this stuff can be carried in a little pack. These are little tiny packs. You can get these, they're really cheap. You can, with the different molly grip or straps or other things on here, you can attach them to another pack. All this stuff will fit right in there, nice and easy. So throw it in there and be safe. One other last thing I always like to bring is you never know who you're going to run out into in the woods, and you may have, if you're hunting public land like I do, a lot of times you run into some pretty crazy people. So bring your GoPro, because we want to see that entertainment. Make sure and film everything. But be safe out there, guys. Good luck. We'll see you guys later.